Guess what, though? With the Phoenix Suns losing, that means we get to usher in a new 1 seed out in the West. Zion Williamson led the way for the Pelicans to get their 5th straight win, 104-98 victory over the Detroit Pistons. Brandon Ingram sidelined in this one. Zion had his 6th career game with 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, tying him with Chris Paul for the 4th most in Pelicans Hornets history. And with the win, the Pelicans are now at the top of the conference standings. 16-8 is their record. This is the first time that New Orleans has had the outright best record in the West this late into the season since April of 2008. So Becky, what is the biggest reason that you see that the Pelicans are leading the way in the West right now?
Again, Bayern, they got a lot of role players that are playing elevated minutes. We really haven't seen a healthy NBA, really, across the board. Even Boston's not totally healthy.
Right.
So I think the fact that you're getting these other guys these minutes and you're starting to see these younger players really mature in a little bit, I'm not going to say total changing of the guard, but you're really starting to see these young players step in, flourish. I thought Brandon Ingram has been great before he got there, but put him with Zion, I think they could be special. Valanciunas, I think, is an underrated piece for them. Tremendous screener, does a lot of versatile player for them. So they can beat you in kind of a variety of ways.
Oh, yeah, they can beat you in different ways. And I think
coffee
the way
beans?
that I will speak to, coffee bean. Real ones know about the coffee bean. It's a long story. I'll tell you later, Becky.
You should
Tell me
say
over coffee.
No, she won't tell you in the break because it's too long for that.
It's too long, but I will say this. I did some digging with producer Cesar, and it's all about defense. Their defense has really turned up, especially in this 5-game win streak. Tied for 1st in defensive efficiency, 2nd in steals, 3rd in opponent field goal percentage, and 4th in blocks. We talk a lot about their offense and those additions and how many great role players have stepped up and continued to develop, getting Zion back. But the reality is they're buying. You know how hard it is to get professionals to play defense? If you're able to do that, that to me is the sign of a team moving in a different direction. And I think this year we're starting to see the Pelicans like everything is seeming like it's working out the way it should from top to bottom, and now it's translating to the floor.
Star players, good young players, key vets. It seems like the Pelicans have all of the ingredients to make some really good coffee down there.
Yeah.
Well, and also, they're a year under their coach. So when you're trying to implement a new system and get buy-in, right, the players kind of need some success around that. Otherwise, you could lose them.
Right.
And I think that's one of the most impressive things about Boston going back to last year. I remember us playing them earlier. We're like, they're going nowhere. And then come January, Ime Udoka stuck with his guns, and that team ends up in the finals. Because they had the buy-in factor. And I think when you're talking about their defense, you have to have buy-in factor on both ends. And when you start to get stops and understand these games can come down to 1 or 2 possessions, even in a regular season NBA game.
Well, we get to see the Pelicans take on the Phoenix Suns tomorrow at 5:30 Pacific.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.